Hey everyone, welcome to Oops Wrong Tavern. My name's Ben. I am one of your co-hosts and one of your DMs that'll be guiding everybody through these chaotic adventures. And
my name is Maggie. I am the other co-host and the other current DM. Between the two of us, we're running two very different campaigns right now, and we wanted to start the podcast by giving you a little taste of what's coming, introduce ourselves, and kind of let you know the people behind the screens.
Yep. So we're excited. We're new to this, both podcast and Dungeons and Dragons, really. And we're learning as we go, and it's kind of the whole point of this.
Absolutely. So if you notice us looking at our phones, we are entirely homebrew. Like, it is just us in our house. We don't have a teleprompter. So, memory of a sieve, I have to use something to take notes. Also, we have cats. So if you hear a meow, or if you're watching and see a cat, that's why she is currently playing in my skirt. So do with that as you will.
All right, so let's jump into our first segment today of what is Oops Wrong Tavern? So the vision behind the podcast.
Yeah, so maybe I guess we can talk a little bit about how this idea came around, because this wasn't something we originally started with when we started doing D&D, and kind of what inspired it for you, because I would say a lot of this is you're the driving force behind, at least the podcast side of things.
Okay. So what started off as we started her campaign, which will be coming out soon. We kept recording it in the background. I think we're four sessions in at this moment. Right. And we kept it as what if we want to post this? So we just recorded it. We broke the rules and we didn't tell anybody we were recording it, but we didn't want anybody to freak out. And
I thought we mentioned it at the start.
Not at the very start.
Did we not?
No, I think it was like session 3.
Sorry.
Which is fine. Because we wanted everybody to feel natural in it. And then when we did break the news, we did tell them, hey, before we post this,
right,
we have been recording this, so if anybody's against it, whatever. Nobody was against it, so we're good.
Everyone was
everybody's
fine with
good.
It. I could have sworn we talked to them.
Maybe we did. I don't remember. Anyways, so we kept that, and we were hanging out with one of our other friends. She is in both campaigns one day, and I told her that we're going to start a new like in-person session, and she mentioned like we should record it, like kind of like Legend of Adventurous, like Critical Role, Dimension 20, that's another big one, and kind of have that set up. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole one day, and now we have wireless mics, we have the whole setup, but it's still a budget setup, and
yeah,
we were like, let's do this.
Right. And I'll say this going into this, all of us are adults with like full-time jobs. This is not going to be a top-level production. All of those groups started somewhere, and I'm betting it started pretty similar to what we're starting with.
Someone's basement.
Someone's basement, a rigged setup, and while we do have some like YouTube experience, the both of us, and we have a vast set of skills between our group, this is a hobby. This is a group of friends coming together to play D&D and just sharing it with you.
Just like how we just recorded this episode, and I realized I had 2 mics recording, our webcam and our lavaliers. So
it sounded like we were over a PA system.
It was great. So now we're redoing this again.
Take 2.
So the name. It's your name. You chose it.
I came up with the name. So there was a lot of brainstorming that went into that, just kind of playing around with names, sending it in the group chat, and I mentioned Oops Wrong Tavern, which was my creation. I came up with that one. And I loved the idea of wandering into the wrong tavern, but still having the right kind of an adventure. That's kind of the thought process of that. Oops, wrong tavern, and then you come across this like strange group of people.
Yep.
Which is kind of our friend group anyway.
Yeah.
We're a strange group of people.
We're a great group of people.
We're a great group that just
strange
work.
And then the logo. You also designed our logo.
I did design the logo. And I want it to be like mildly janky. Like it didn't need to be perfect. It needed to look like you're wandering into a tavern where the tavern owner hand painted the sign and probably barely passed like kindergarten art class. So if you don't know, the creature is supposed to be a manticore.
Yep.
I'm very proud of it, actually.
So, perfect.
Thank you.
Yep, it's great. But yeah, so we're not voice actors.
Nope.
We're not big time professional YouTubers. We both have YouTube channels, and they're
Right.
small YouTube channels.
Some experience.
We have experience. We're not full timers.
Not at all.
So this is going to be a learning experience and a
Yeah,
kind of a timed experience too, of
definitely.
working it in when we can. So
We'll talk about the schedule in
Yeah.
a little bit, but we will try the best we can to keep up with that. But like we said, keep in mind we're people with jobs, so if we miss some, it's just how it goes sometimes. But we are gonna try to stay ahead, at least on some of it, so we always have some.
and we have a lot of new people.
We do have a lot of new people,
So a lot of patience needs
Yes.
to be had.
and we'll talk a little bit about that as
Mhm.
well.
So let's move into the campaigns.
The campaigns.
Talk about the
Yes.
Shattered Souls Chronicles.
All right, so the Shattered Souls Chronicles is my campaign. Now, I'm a first-time DM, and being who I am, decided to homebrew as the first time I ever DM'd. So I'll give you a quick synopsis. So, Velastra is the city of masks, where tradition hides forgotten danger. As the Festival of Masks erupts into chaos, adventurers are drawn into a web of clashing factions, shifting loyalties, unseen forces that threaten to travel the city itself. So, Velastra is a city in a world I have built out, an entire mythos I've already expanded upon, and the entire campaign, this campaign takes called Velastra.
And it's been a lot of fun. It's been some drama.
Definitely.
It's been some excitement.
Absolutely.
It's
So,
been some stupidity.
yes, but that is the way of things.
Yes.
So-
And dice rolls.
And dice roll.
And it's, you've talked about how you like to use breadcrumbs.
Yes, so while I am a first-time DM, I've been writing for a very long time. I'm not published yet, but I have so very many books I've started writing. And that's kind of where this all started, was sitting in the car on the way somewhere. We were on a road trip, and he'd said something, and my brain, of course, fired off and was like, what if I did a campaign where we're in a city where everyone has to wear masks? And then immediately my brain just built out this entire story. So it's a little bit like Masquerade Festival meets Arcane. And
Yep.
I wrote out an entire story. And if you go through it, you'll notice there's a lot of breadcrumbs throughout the entire thing, because that's what I love to do. I love to take the story and to throw things back in that, unless you're paying attention or go back a second time, you won't catch them.
And as players, we have not been paying attention. And as an editor, I was appalled by the amount of breadcrumbs that were in the very first episode that I was like, she said that. Oh my God, she said that. Oh my God, we missed so much. If we would have just had these recordings to go back and listen to and go, oh, we could play this easily now.
I was dying laughing because he would look at me and be like, you mentioned that in the first episode. And I was like, uh-huh. Take better notes.
Take better notes. I'm not taking
Only one of you is taking good notes.
a couple.
A couple, but
Yeah.
one in particular
Yes.
is taking good notes.
Ophelia.
And we will talk later about everyone's characters and maybe a little more about the story, but obviously I don't want to ruin anything.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into what will be our new campaign that we'll be launching, if everything goes to plan, next week. Sunday, yeah.
Sunday.
You're going to talk a little bit about
Yep.
Inc.
So Acquisitions Incorporated. Now, if you've been in the Dungeons and Dragons circle online, you've probably heard of Acquisitions Incorporated. It also started in someone's basement on a weekend project, and it grew to where they were doing live productions at like PAX and a couple other places. And it is originally DM'd by Chris Perkins, and then moved on to Jeremy Crawford later. Both of them have worked for Wizards of the Coast. I don't know where they both lie at this point, but that was kind of this whole inspiration for the Dungeons and Dragons book and where it comes from. So it is kind of guiding players through running a franchise, a business of acquiring things, and then a lot of times through missions from headquarters and stuff. So it's kind of their whole, they're setting up a franchise, like a fast food franchise.
Right. Which I'm excited about. Everything I know of the character so far, this is going to be unholy chaos.
It's going to be chaos.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a weird group. It's a fun group. It's all in-person group, so we will be sitting around the table and actually throwing dice. We didn't mention Shattered Souls is online only, but we can talk about that in a minute too.
Right.
So that is kind of that's kind of the introduction to that, and something I've wanted to do for a while. We did start it a while back with a different group, got it like first chapter done, and then never picked it back up again because life happens.
Right.
And I'm really excited to take them through this book, and it'll get them all the way up to level 7 by the end of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the group from there, but hopefully we'll kind of figure that out as we go. So maybe take on another adventure book, or kind of just keep up with this theme and just start, because it is in the world of favorite. So.
Right. There's a lot of places we can go with that after that.
So it'll be fun.
It will be.
So let's talk more about what this will be.
This format is chat, which someday will have an official name.
We have some in our head.
Insert here.
So what do we want to do with these?
So the point of these chats is for us to have a chance, especially as first-time DMs, because I am quite literally a first-time DM as you're going through Velastra with me. You are a very limited experience. Run some one-shots and the first few chapters of this, but we're not experienced by any means. So this kind of gives us a chance to talk about some of the things we learned, some of the things we want to learn, give feedback, get feedback even from our players, or even talk to y'all about some of the things you guys have noticed. I think it's really important as a DM to look at other DMs and, in the nicest way possible, steal the things that work for your table.
Yep.
Not everything
I'm
does.
planning on stealing something.
Oh yeah, I totally have already stolen things. And I keep like saving like reels on Instagram being like, using that, using that. So there's a bunch of ideas, but that's kind of partly what this is about, is learning and growing and creating your own style. And you'll notice he and I probably have very different styles for how we lead a table. And I think it'll be kind of interesting to see. So that's the point of this. Beyond that, we're going to be talking to our players, talking about their characters, their experiences. As we said before, this is a table of mostly players.
Yep.
Know that one of our players has only played a single session.
Yep.
For 2 of them, this is quite literally their first campaign and doing Velastra with me. And
they will also be joining ours in the Acquisitions Incorporated as well.
And 2 of the others in Velastra have only really played with us, and 1 limited with others. But
it's like I said, it's a whole new table basically.
Right. Which I think I said earlier, the first time we recorded this, it's a different experience when you go in with new players as opposed to very experienced. Because experienced players have a really good idea of how the systems work, and usually a very good idea of how to play their character, where there's going to be a lot more of our players learning as they go along and diving more into the role play, and a lot of, can I do this? Can I play it like this?
Yep.
So
makes it fun.
It does.
So what's coming is interviews with us, interviews with our players, so you get to know them better and their characters better, and kind of their inspiration of where they came up with those characters. And then maybe even some extra random guests that we know that have led DM tables or have played Dungeons and Dragons and
tabletop in
general, and just kind of get maybe their thoughts on some things. So we don't have a ton planned, but
we definitely have some.
We got some episodes ready to lay out and go. So talking about schedule then, so we kind of have a rotation built up of, we'll do these talks, and then the following week we'll be into Shattered Souls, and then the following week after that will be Acquisitions Incorporated. So it keeps a good rotation. So for those who are following and they really want to just listen to Shattered Souls, then they know that they come out pretty much every third Tuesday. We'll be releasing on Tuesdays. So this week is the 16th that we just dropped this. We will be releasing Shattered Souls on the 23rd, and Acquisitions Inc. will be on podcast on 30th, but we are live streaming that one.
Right.
So with it being live streamed, it will be live streamed as long as everything goes to plan. Nothing gets canceled this weekend. On Sunday the 21st, find us over on twitch.tv, Oops Wrong Tavern, all one word, and go follow us. Put that notification on, and that way you can watch us live as it all unfolds. There'll be probably even some setup going on while we're doing and chatting and hanging out. We'll do our best to interact with the audience, but at the same time, it is Dungeons and Dragons,
Right.
so
It's about the game.
it's about the game, and we'll definitely have our breaks where we talk to the audience for a minute. So, but feel free to jump in and hang out during our live streams. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But if you do miss the live streams, we will also have the video of it on YouTube and Spotify, and then also we're going to use our other platforms once we get set up. We're going to try Apple, Amazon, all the others. That way you can find this podcast wherever and listen freely. So we'll have our in-ear listeners, and then we'll have our video watchers. So
we're working on getting it all of it set up now, but
yep.
Yeah.
So
The goal of this side is so you can get to know the players behind the
scenes,
behind the table.
Yep. And so yeah, that rotation will be going, and we'll be excited. So our next table talk here will be me and her again. And we'll be talking about our specific characters in each other's campaigns and where they came from, a little bit more in depth of those.
Right, some of the motivations and choices. We're going to work really hard not to spoil things.
Yes. No spoilers, please.
No spoilers, but it might be a good kind of chance to talk about how we choose our characters and set them up. And 'cause I feel like everyone has a different how
Everybody
they
does.
set a character up. Obviously, mine is always story driven because
Yes.
I'm me.
So make sure you follow us on all platforms here on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify or over on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That's important. Make
Otherwise,
sure
it won't tell you it's been posted.
Make sure you go over to Twitch if you're interested in the live streams, twitch.tv/ I think at Oops Wrong Tavern. Find us there, and make sure you share it with your other friends that will enjoy D&D.
Yep, this is a good chance to sit down, hang out with friends, and play some games.
So we're glad you walked into the wrong tavern today, and I hope you'll join us on many adventures coming soon.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.